push-up progression. Now, big key here is I'm going to go over 3 different ways to progress your push-ups without actually putting your hands and feet on the ground at the same time. I'll put timestamps for all those. So we're first going to go over how to do it if you have a rack available. We're then going to go over if you have some sort of elevated surface, which is usually the most common method we use at home. And then the third one we can also use is the kneeling variation. So big key here with the first variation, which is using a rack, is very simply we're just going to start high and take you down towards the ground. So from this position, I'm going to have my hands, pretty much a little bit wider than shoulder width. I'm going to elevate it to the point where I can do a full rep with some tempo. So whatever that looks like for you, I'm going to make sure I start there, because once I can master this position first, then I can slowly move the bar down. So as some key technique points, I'm going to pull the bar into my chest. I'm going to have it touch right below my letters on the shirt. So for a lot of people, it's right on the sternum. For girls, usually it's right at the bottom of the sports bra. From that position, my elbows usually get right in that nice position, so they're not too high up, they're not tucked in like this. They're right in that 45-degree angle, and then I'm driving up. That's point 1. The other big point 2, your whole body has to stay pillared. So I'll put this in the comments usually, but we cannot let ourselves sag up or down. We're really trying to stay as strict as possible. So I'm bracing my abs, I'm squeezing my lower body, I'm pulling myself down at whatever tempo the workout says, and then I'm driving back away, not letting myself sag here or hips stay up like this and go into something like that. Okay, we want to make sure we're as fixed as possible. Now, if we were to take this and do it in, let's say, a elevated position, so this is the second way to do this. If let's say I have a staircase or a couch or a chair, or I have a little plow box here, but you don't need that as well, this can also be a pretty good option. You just got to make sure that whatever you're using, your hands have enough space to go on. So I don't want to do a push-up like this unless I'm trying to specifically target my triceps. If I'm just doing a regular push-up, I want to give my hands, again, like shoulder width, maybe a slight bit wider. I want to give them space to be able to get down. And from this position, same exact concept. I get down to the bottom. I come back up, touching my sternum right to the edge of the box, the chair, the staircase, the couch, whatever it is you have, that is at least firm enough to give yourself a little pushback off of. You don't really want to do like a soft couch cushion or anything like that. That'll probably be a little too difficult. The last variation, which is a kneeling push-up. So again, same concept of keeping the body straight. As I get down into that kneeling position, I want to make sure that my body now is staying straight, not just from my shoulder to my heel, but shoulder to knee. So in this position, again, I get my hands decently wide here. My hips want to come straight even with my knees. So I don't want to keep them up here like this and not let my whole body go down, because once we get to a full push-up, your whole body has to go down as one, okay? As opposed to just letting your hips stay high and doing kind of a dive bomber there. When I'm doing my kneeling push-up, I want to make sure hips are straight. There should be a straight line from my knee all the way up to my shoulder. And then as I go down, I touch and come back up. So I'm not letting myself kind of go chest first or anything. I'm not letting my hips sag down here, my spine sag at all. As I get down, I'm trying to keep the same distance to the ground from pretty much the entire part of my body as I go down, and then we progress upward. Make sure you keep the tempo. So if it says 4 seconds down, you're going 4, 3, 2, 1, and then driving back up. Let's say you can't drive back up at all, and the variation you're using is the only one you have. So if you're on any of these 3 variations, one, there's probably a way to do one or the other, but let's say you're doing the kneeling push-up and you just can't get back up, and the tempo is 4 seconds down. Don't quit on the whole set because you can't get back up. What I would prefer you to do is, if let's say the tempo is 6 seconds down, for example, and you just can't get back up for that 6 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I control it all the way down. I then get back up however I can, reset, and go again. So this allows me to still load the movement up without sacrificing form or technique, without trying to go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there, and really not doing the movement, just kind of half getting through as far as technique goes. Again, if you have any questions, message me. Keep with the tempo, keep with the rep scheme, and if you have questions, put them in the comments.